So, did it feel like you were playing hide and seek with your power the last 5 months? If so, that was because Pluto was retrograde and it turns direct today, October 13th. And so, if you experience breakdowns, control issues with other people, crises in your relationships, maybe you had a feeling of like you didn't have your power when you wanted to. Maybe there's just one particular person or a particular relationship where you're always feeling like you're out of your own power, you're knocked off your center, you're not in your own space. If that's happening, that is usually Pluto in retrograde. Pluto is a planet of transformation, and it can show us where we are weak or where we feel weak. It can also show us where we're not owning up to our own power, where we're not standing up for ourselves. So, if you've had experiences in the last few months where that was the case, this is a great week to be taking a look at it since it's stationary direct this week. And we're also moving towards a new moon, which is going to be October 21st. So, for these next few days, the moon is going to be in the last quarter phase, and then it moves into the waning crescent phase. And all that really means is that the moon is growing dark. And so it's an invitation for us to go inward, to go into the darker aspects of ourselves sometimes, to look at our own shadows. And part of that shadow work for this week in particular, I think, is about where do you want your power to be expressed? And how do you want your power to be expressed? And if you felt weak, if you had relationships where you felt like you weren't standing up for yourself, you weren't claiming what you needed, what you owned emotionally, don't beat yourself up. Give yourself grace. Be kind to yourself. Retrogrades are about showing us what's not working so that we can then have the insight to figure out what we want to do next. What are the next steps? How do we want to move forward? And so now that Pluto is direct, you can also use this week to look at where you gain power, where you step back into yourself. I know for myself, I have relationships where I definitely created healthier boundaries, said no to things that were no longer serving me, said yes to things that just give me joy. That's just because it's fun, just because I need to do it for myself because it gives me joy, whether that's, dancing or just going to the gym, like simple things. Or it could be something bigger, like maybe you took on a new hobby, or maybe you're thinking about taking on a hobby. Sometimes just giving yourself permission to do something without a goal, without an outcome, can help you feel more of who you are. For a while for me, it was knitting. Like I liked just knitting because it gave my hands something to do. And it was the only thing I had to focus on while I was doing it. And it gave me a break from all the like mental patterns and the circular thoughts I was having about certain people, certain relationships, things that I didn't like about work or things I felt scared to do in my business. So maybe that's what you need to do during this week. Maybe just take time to go back to an old hobby. Maybe it's knitting, maybe it's dancing, maybe it's just a yoga class, or maybe it's just even just taking a walk. Especially if you're in a part of the country, I'm on the East Coast where it's fall, the weather is beautiful, the leaves are falling, it's great hiking weather. Maybe you just need to take a hike with some friends and just talk something out loud. Reevaluate where your friendships are going, where your romantic relationships are going, what you want to have happen in your workspace, your career, your business, anything that is an expression of your power, who you are, what you want. Because, like I said, maybe it felt like it was playing hide and seek with you. Like there may have been weeks where you felt like I'm on top of the world. I can do this. I can do anything. And then the next day, maybe you just felt completely deflated, like nothing was going right, or that person never listens to you, or they never do what you want them to do. And control issues probably came up in these past 5 months. So if you have that, like if there's someone in your life that you want to control, why? Why do you want to control them? Why does what they do, how they say it, how they act, how they don't say it, how they don't act, why does that make you feel weak? Why does it make you feel insecure? Like, just really sit with it. Like, this is a week to ask those kinds of questions. Because normally when I do that, what I discover for myself is that it's just that. Like, I feel weak in their presence. And then that makes me angry. And then I want to act out. I get resentful. I want to blame them. And at the end of the day, I am responsible for how I feel. I am responsible for how I act. I am responsible for what I say and how I say it. And so if I'm not asking them to meet my needs, why? What am I scared to lose? Do I want to live like they do? Am I inspired by them and their lifestyle? Or is it just a habit? Is this just how I always did it? Is that how the dynamic always worked? If I do this, they love me. If I do this, they'll talk to me. If I do this, they'll spend time with me. And how much does it matter to me? Like, really? Is this someone I want to spend a lot of time with? Is this someone I really need in my life? Or am I just scared to be alone? These are the questions to sit with, to ask yourself this week, because we want to begin to get ready for this new moon. When the moon is in that last quarter phase and that waning crescent, that is the time to rest, reflect, and release so that you can then create a fertile ground, a new space to plant intentions that you want to plant next week with the new moon. So I want to invite you to do that this week, to look at that, to think about it, and just give yourself time to feel whatever you need to feel. There's been a lot happening this year. Maybe there are still some places, people, situations that you still need to actually grieve. And if you need time for that, take the time and the space to do so. Give yourself permission to just feel what you need to feel so that you can let it go, so you can alchemize it, so you can move on. Because there's so much that the divine, the universe, spirit wants to give to you, wants to move through you with, but it needs space. And a big part of that is really integrating our own personal power. So, where have you lost power? Where have you gained power? Where has it been playing hide and seek for you these past 5 months? And when you find it, how do you want to live from it? How do you want to move through it? How do you want your own personal power to be expressed in the world, on the planet, right now? And it's just an invitation, but I'm going to suggest you do it from joy, that you give yourself to have your power be an expression of your innate joy. See what it feels like. Play with it. And if you do, tell me how it goes. Let me know. I'd love to hear. It's a pretty quick one. With that, you can just go ahead and leave a comment below. Maybe I'll just put a heart emoji if this resonated for you. Please do subscribe to the channel if you have not already. That does help me get the message out to more people. If you got value from this, please do like the video, share it with others. And also, I do have a Skool community on the Skool platform, Skool. I have weekly Q&As in it. I think I might also start offering office hours, maybe once a month. I'm doing new one-on-one sessions with people that will be paid sessions. But what I'm thinking I will probably do in the Skool community is maybe just hold space. So like maybe just do like 2 hours if there are like 3 to 4 people who want to sign up for that. And then give each person like maybe like a 20-minute mini session as compared to like the paid one-on-one session. And hopefully I'll have landing pages up for that in the next week or so. Might need a bit more time. We'll see how the next couple of weeks go. But if you join the Skool platform, you'd at least have access to me once a week. I do a weekly Q&A on astrology, the transits, the moons, and just whatever else is on people's minds. And then also, I think once a month, I'm going to do like this 2-hour office hours. And that way, if people want to get like a little support, like for like 20, 30 minutes, that kind of thing. We'll see how that goes. But hopefully you'll be able to join me. Hopefully you'll be able to play with me. Wishing you so much love, so much peace and joy. And again, reminder, be kind to yourself, be good to yourself, because you're worth it. Easefully yours, Darice.